Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tarda Zone. I never thought I'd have to do another video on this topic, but if you all remember a few weeks back, Emily Cook was going to do the Unicorn and the Wasp, and there was a bit of a backlash because the story happened to be written by Garrett Roberts. At the time, I told you all that when Emily then reversed her decision, that she was setting a dangerous precedent, that these guys would not be happy with just having that story being removed from the watch along. Now it's being brought to my attention that our good friend Paul Cornell. Now, remember, Paul Cornell, after the Timeless Children dropped, went on a blocking spree and blocked anybody that had a problem with the Timeless Children story arc. Myself and a few others that you know that are YouTubers were blocked by this man. Now, he came out in defense of this. So what's shocking is, well, it's not actually shocking because we already know that these people would turn on anybody to get their way. They don't care who they trample on, to be honest with you. Now, while Paul Cornell has been a bit of a clown when it came to blocking people for having a different opinion to his, these Jodie stands are now going after Human Nature, Family of Blood, because the stories highlighted the racism that was shown towards the character Martha Jones. Now, I'll just show you guys this. And hopefully we got it there. So here we go. So this poster, there was obviously, as I said, some furore over these two-part stories. By the way, just to let you know, I've seen some of the tweets. Obviously, I'm not going to waste my time showing them all. But what I can say to you is this, is that the same people that were responsible for getting Emily Cook to reverse her decision are also involved in this campaign. Can someone please explain to me why suddenly all are against Human Nature, or at least the post? I hate racism, but I think it's okay there because they have shown the thinking of the time, or do I misunderstand something? And then the poster underneath says, you're obviously racist, apparently. Now, this is a valid question. Now, I will show you, just give us a second. I will show you, this was a person that obviously complained. Sorry about that. Why is this not working? There we go. Sometimes the mouse. So I'll show you this one. So here we go. So this person, Doctor Who official, obviously threw up a post, and then they responded by saying, when will Doctor Who officials stop shoving John Smith and his racist girlfriend in our faces? And as you can see underneath there, they show their feelings. So this was all because of a post that BBC put up. Now they're going after this because of the racism that was shown in the story. As we know, back in those times, racism was a thing. I think when, see, here's the thing, right? They want the Jodie stands that want to highlight all sorts. But it seems to be, to me, that they have something against Doctor Who highlighting racism the way they did in those two stories. I mean, I don't know why yous are giving out. I mean, the show went and did something within the context of the show. They showed a historical episode at the time, what it would have been like. Okay? Martha was treated very badly in that story, not just by the people around her, but also by the doctor. Unfortunately, in those times, it wasn't just uh, black women that were subjected to hardship. Also, all women were basically in those times. I don't even think in those days they even had the right to vote. It was harder, obviously, if you were a black woman. But the thing about it is this episode highlighted hardships on both, and they also highlighted the racism that was around at that time. Now, if you have a problem with Doctor Who highlighting racism because you'd rather them concentrate on a relationship between the Doctor and Yaz, well, then I'm sorry, you've come to the wrong place. Doctor Who has, when it does historical episodes like this and highlights issues like this, has done it very well in the past. I don't know why you are criticizing something that was highlighting something that happened years ago. And by the way, it's completely different nowadays. I'm not saying that racism doesn't exist nowadays, because it clearly still does. But we have learned from those lessons in the past. Women have come a long, long way. There's still a long way to go, right? But at the end of the day, you can't be giving out about Doctor Who highlighting situations like this. And it was very well done, by the way. It highlighted the issue with sensitivity. When you look at the current era and they're highlighting issues like that, they don't highlight them with sensitivity, or they're shoehorned in. This was a historical episode in the 1900s, the early 1900s. It was around the world, unfortunately, racism existed, and Doctor Who should be commended for highlighting the issues. And if you go after David Tennant, or the actress that played his love interest in this story, well, then there's seriously something wrong with you. They're playing characters. It was a historical time. Unfortunately, it was ugly. Some of you don't actually, I've seen videos. Some of your generation don't even know your history. You should go and check out your history. Okay? Simple as that. Racism existed everywhere. Everywhere. I'm not saying it was a good thing. Of course it wasn't. It was awful. But Doctor Who, when it highlights issues like this, does it in a tasteful and respectful manner. Unlike Rosa Parks. Okay? You want to highlight racism? Human nature, family of blood. I wouldn't be actually surprised if some of you are actually only attacking this because people have come out and attacked how Rosa Parks episode addressed racism. So some of the fandom were not happy with the way it was portrayed. It was actually not a true reflection of what Chris Chibnall, Mallory, what's her name? Mallory Blackman showed on the screen. Again, I wouldn't be actually surprised if that's the reason. But all this fake outrage needs to stop. But I told everybody, when Emily Cook decided to pull that episode and then decided the Unicorn and the Wasp and then decided not to do any more watch-alongs, she was setting a very dangerous precedent. Now they're going to go back and look at other episodes. They're going to target other episodes too. They're not going to stop. This is what these fans do. They try to find everything wrong because they're trying to elevate Jodie Whittaker's era better than what it is, right? You won't be able to elevate this by going after New Who or Classic Who for subjects or topics that they highlighted back in the day, right? Because at the end of the day, they did them respectfully, okay? Chris Chibnall does not do these things respectfully at all. And again, I think this is just another, this is just you guys going after anything that people love, Doctor Who fans love, right? Human Nature, Family of Blood is loved by a lot of fans, right? And a few outraged Muppets are not going to change that. And you just need to get that through your thick skulls, right? Nobody is saying that racism still doesn't exist, right? Now, you are saying that Doctor Who should highlight certain topics and stuff. You have been banging on for that for the last 3 years. But as soon as you come across an episode, Human Nature, Family of Blood, you go after it, but it's highlighting the issues of racism. So explain that one to me. Are you all racist or something? Because you should be praising this episode for highlighting the issues. And to actually say when someone questioned you, like I showed in that first tweet, when the person asked an honest question and asked what all the fuss was about and said that they didn't get it, and then the responder says, well, you're a racist apparently. This is ridiculous. Even the responder is like, when they're saying, you're a racist apparently, you can tell by them that they're taking the piss. Because that's what this fandom has become. A huge joke. These people are trying to dismantle everything that we love, right? And Doctor Who, as I said, and Paul Cornell, and again, I'm separating the things that he has said online to his actual writing. He should be commended. Everybody that was part of those two stories should be commended for doing such a great job and presenting racism in a sensitive but not a cheap manner the way Chris Chibnall does it. It was respectful. And these people, these clowns that come out with their Black Lives Matter banners and their hashtags and all of this are now going and attacking an episode, a story, a two-part story that highlights a racism and obviously it highlights the horrors of war, what these young lads obviously went through, So it highlighted a lot of issues. Racism was there, and it was handled. Tastefully, in my opinion. You guys should be praising this story. You should be elevating Paul Cornell and actually, applauding him, because Doctor Who has always done things and always been ahead of its time. Okay, and I still can't get over this nonsense that you want to cancel another story. What will it be next? What will it be next? When is this going to stop? It has to stop. You can't destroy everything because you don't like certain fans out there because they don't happen to like this current era of Doctor Who. I'm actually, it's getting ridiculous. But I said this would happen as soon as someone reverses their decision. That's why I got criticized. Excuse me. I got criticized at the time when Emily Cook cancelled that watch along, the Unicorn and the Wasp. I decided to do it. on my channel, and I was criticised for it, right? Uh, because as I said at the time, if you give in to these people, you're setting a dangerous precedent. They're not going to be happy. They'll always want more. They'll always go after more. So that's why I did it. I wanted to do it because to show these people that I don't care if you don't like Garrett Roberts, right? I don't care if you don't like what he said 7 years ago, right? You judge him on his writing on Doctor Who. And as a writer for Doctor Who, he's a great writer. End of. Right? But you guys are getting a. You always go after the juggler. You always get personal. You always try to cancel people. It's absolutely ridiculous and it's disgusting. And now you are trying to do the same with human nature, family of blood, and God knows who you are going after as well, because that's the way you operate. You don't have any respect for anything that's gone before in the past. You just want to destroy it all, whether it's classic Who and now you are going after new Who, right? Big Finish is being targeted as well. You aren't happy, right? And you never will be happy. I said this 3 years ago, right? I said this when Jodie Whittaker was cast, when Chris Chibnall was announced, right? When I seen everything that was coming out, and then you guys were on the surge then, and you were being listened to and pandered to. I said it. I says these guys when you went after Peter Davison, I said it. These guys will not be happy. They'll keep going and going and going and going, and you are showing you are true colours. You are going after everything because, as far as you are concerned, Doctor Who, the sum is Doctor Who started with Jodie Whittaker. The rest of it doesn't exist. And if it does exist, you will find something wrong with it and you will attack it. It's as simple as that. And it's actually disgusting. It's disgusting. You don't respect the history of the show. You don't respect what came before, right? Even when you talk about strong female characters, right? You bang on about, oh, there's not enough strong female characters on camera or behind camera. I mean, the show was literally began with a woman in Verity Lambert, right? So, I mean, again, you just want to dismiss all of these old female companions as well. You find the flaws and then you just criticize them for not being feminist enough. And now you are going after New Who because, why not? Why stop there? That's our attitude. Why stop with Classic Who? Let's go after New Who now. Right? So Unicorn and the Wasp, right? We've got Human Nature, Family of Blood. Yeah, New Who. Now, I'm not aware right now if there are other episodes that these Muppets have been offended by in New Who. But I can guarantee you that list is going to get longer and longer and longer. And what are we going to do? Right? It's BBC as well. By the way, BBC, what are you going to do? Are you going to give in every time these people have a problem and start removing episodes or putting disclaimers on everything? I mean, if these people don't understand the times that certain stories were written in Classic Who and, the stereotypes that was going on, it was the time that it was. In New Who as well, attitudes, obviously, from 2005 have changed from 2021. Huge change. Do these people not understand that we grow as a society? We learn from past mistakes. We grow as a society. We're going backwards now. You guys are dragging us backwards to draconian times. You want to censor everything. And you won't be happy until you get everything that you perceive as bad in the Doctor Who universe. And you ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Seriously. Seriously. Um, and I can tell you now that in those times, it's completely different to 2021. So, stop using today's attitudes and going back and attacking. That's just the way it was. That's part of your history. You have moved on, right? Every country has had an issue with racism. Every country, or most countries, have been ruled by an empire at one stage or another, right? But we learn, we move on. You guys want to drag us back, drag everything up. See, this is what you do, isn't it? I mean, Garrett Roberts was cancelled because of tweets that he put out years ago. And that's what you do. You go back to the past and to try cancel people today. It's actually disgusting. It's disgusting. All because, and I'm telling you, this has all got to do with the fact that you guys know that this current era is not popular, and you keep lashing out. And this is our way of getting back at all of those fans that don't like this current era. Well, how dare you? How dare you, right? There are some eras of Doctor Who that I don't like, right? Not just Jodie Whittaker's era, by the way, or Chris Chibnall's era. It's the same with many fans out there. There's some fans that didn't like the Sylvester McCoy era. There's some fans that didn't like the Colin Baker era. I know there are some fans that even didn't like the David Tennant era. Some that didn't like the Matt Smith era, or didn't like Matt Smith as the Doctor, or didn't like David Tennant as the Doctor, or Christopher Eccleston as the Doctor, or Colin Baker as the Doctor, or Sylvester McCoy as the Doctor, or John Pertwee as the Doctor. This has been a continuous thing. But nobody has went out and tried to destroy and dismantle something, and nobody has went out of their way to cancel people that are long dead, by the way. They tried it with John Pertwee as well last year or the year before, when a video surfaced from a commercial that he recorded, but apparently it never aired, where he says, "Show us your boobies," basically. And everybody lost their crap. The man's been dead since the 90s, and they went after him. Right? They'll never be happy, these fans. Never be happy. But listen, I mean, I'm not surprised. As I said, when you give in, they want more, because they know they can get more. And that was the problem with Emily Cook cancelling that particular watch along. She should have went through with it, in my opinion. I can understand her point of view to a certain extent. I really can, because of the position that she's in. But she should have really stood her ground to show these fans that basically the deal is this: you separate the person, right? And from the actual you separate the person's comments or whatever he said that offends you all so much from the work he done on Doctor Who. It's the same with Paul Cornell as well. And I know he's been a bit of a blockety, and I don't like him for that, because he doesn't like anybody with different opinions. But still, nobody has the right to go after him, because he highlighted a very important issue, as well as other issues that were highlighted within that episode. He should be praised. These guys are all about Black Lives Matter. These guys are all about inclusion. Yeah, they go after an episode that highlights many issues, including racism. It's mind-boggling, to be quite honest with you. Well, guys, let me know what you think. Give us your opinions. It'll be interesting to hear what you have to say. I just think it's getting all ridiculous now, and it actually has to stop. But these people will not stop, because they won't be happy. They have to dismantle everything. So, yeah, I mean, what next? That's what I'd say. That new Who list is going to get bigger. I wonder what else. You know, um, it does boggle me mind. The reason why I keep pausing because it boggles me mind. These people are always claim to be on the side of fighting racism and attack anybody. And people, plenty of people that are on Twitter have actually seen this. And people that follow me will see sometimes in the comments I do get accused of being a racist. But the thing about it is these people call out anybody that they perceive to be racist, but yeah, they're calling out someone and have a problem with two stories that highlights the very issue that they claim to fully support in Black Lives Matter and the fight against racism. That's why I'm baffled. Paul Cornell should be praised for what he done because he highlighted a very sensitive issue in a tasteful manner, in my opinion, and he should be his writers, and all the actors and actresses involved should be praised for their performances, not to be, attacked because all of a sudden these Jodie stands have a problem with the way that it's portrayed on the screen. I mean, what other way did you want them to do it? I mean, sugarcoat it. You can't sugarcoat racism, by the way. If you're going to highlight racism, you've got to highlight racism. You can't sugarcoat it. If you want to get your message across, you have to be as blunt as possible. But, as I said, in a respectful manner. And Paul Cornell certainly did that. So, look, make up your minds. Yous are either on the side of fighting racism or yous aren't. And by your actions right now, it would suggest to me that yous aren't there to fight racism. As I said, your actions with complaining about these two stories suggest that you're not fully behind solving the issue of racism. So make up your minds. You either want to solve the issue of racism, and you should, as I said, be commending stories like this that do highlight it, because it's important to get it out there in the public so we can be educated and informed. That's what it's all about. So make up your minds, because your actions are just appalling when it comes to this. As I said, you are all supposed to support Black Lives Matter and support the fight against racism, but your actions today suggest otherwise. I would say to you now, stop trying to cancel stuff that you don't, that you think is offensive, because at the end of the day, racism, unfortunately, is offensive. And if you're going to highlight it, as I said, there's no sugarcoating it. So get with the program, sweethearts, because, that's the way it's been done. Science fiction has done it before. They done it in Star Trek as well. Get with the program, because this is the way it should be done. And, if we want to move on and to all be equal, then we have to find ways of educating people out there. And TV shows are one of those shows, are shows that have, and a lot of shows over the years, even back in the day, highlighted racism. But again, they did it within the context of the show. Chris Chibnall just doesn't do that. So listen, stop going after things that are fighting a good, highlighting issues that need to be highlighted. Because as I said, your actions suggest to me that you aren't fully behind this movement to end racism. Because why would you actually be criticizing an episode or two stories that actually highlight that and other topics? They highlight racism though with Martha Jones. Um, and as I said, Paul Cornell, even though personally he's blocked me, and I could very easily laugh and say, ha ha ha, you reap what you sow. But no, no, I'm not. At the end of the day, he wrote two great stories. He highlighted important issues, and I don't think anybody should be going after him because they are somehow offended by himself highlighting these issues. Right, with that, I'm going to say good night. Have a good one, and look after yourselves, and I will see you really, really soon.